Hi everybody, this is Sam with Python Basics, and I'm going to be experimenting and trying a live stream tonight. So this is for absolute beginners. So we're actually going to kind of review some of the first videos that are on this channel and just go ahead and get started. So first we're going to start out in the shell. Right here, this is also called idle. But you'll hear me refer to it a lot as shell. And this is the prompt, or actually most commonly referred to as the REPL. Read, print, loop. So, all right. So in Python, we use variables to do things. And the way that Python works, actually, let's just do this. So, like I said, my name's Sam, and we're going to assign a string. So in Python, there are 4 main variables, and then we'll go from there. But it's an integer for a number, a float for a number that has a decimal, then a boolean, which is true or false, which is basically the roots of how computers work, and we'll learn more about that. And then a string is anything else. And here's the catch. A number can also be a string, and we'll deal with that later. So right here, I have assigned my name to the variable name by using the equal sign. You're used to the equal sign showing balance between two sides of an equation. In Python, it links that variable name to this information in variable. So in memory, excuse me. So now I'm going to I'm just going to type this variable again, and it comes out, and lo and behold, it still has my quotation marks. So that's a string. So now let's do an integer. All right, I call that. Now here, actually, pi, 3.14. I call pi, and so on and so forth. So one of the things that is very powerful in Python is it has a lot of things already built for us. One of them is the print function. And the way that I like to let people and make people aware of this is, all right, so print, it's purple and it has parentheses. So you'll kind of hear that a lot over and over and over again. All functions have to have parentheses, even when you're making your own, and we'll deal with that very soon. So now, if I were to, when I called name, that doesn't really look very good. But now if I use our print function and my parentheses and I pass in some sort of stuff, it can be the actual information or an object. Remember that word, object. There we go. So now that prints out much, much nicer, doesn't it? So let's see where we are. All right. So, oops, sorry about that. So now we need to look at another function. So the dir function. What this does is, another wonderful thing about Python is it has a tremendous amount of information setting out there waiting to help you with it. So dir name. So whoa. Now what is all this? This is actually, and I want you to remember this word, a list, keep that in mind, of everything you can do with a string. So a perfect example is title or upper. Here's a great example. So name dot upper. Boom. It capitalized every character in this string. So let me rephrase that, or let me say that again. every character in this string. So right here, that is a string, even though it's empty. And now, here's another function. And you know it's a function because it's purple. And make sure you can see that. Okay. You know it's a function because it's purple. So now if I were to pass in name.upper and close this out, so I'm passing in stuff. And then I hit my enter. I get the actual definition of it. Python has all these things built in for you. And that is what is so awesome about the Python community. So much work has already been done for us, and we just stand on the shoulders of the other developers. So, all right. I know we're going to go over a lot of stuff here, but this is for complete beginners. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell, because we got videos coming out all the time. And this live stream is a new little experiment. We'll see how it goes. So, all right. Return a copy of string converted. So we're going to learn more about this return here in a few minutes, but what return does is it's a way to say created. So you'll also see in place or the lack thereof. So if it does not say return, it's in place, and vice versa. So all right, let's see where we are. All right. So now there is actually a way to create our own functions. So we need to talk about keywords in Python. So right now we can't use dir as a variable, and we can't use help as a variable. And there's actually a list right here, and I'm going to show you how to get into the interactive mode of help in Python. Into the prompt, you type in help, open, close parentheses, and you literally get this prompt right here. And as you can see right there, keywords. Keywords. You hit enter, and here is a list of all the keywords that Python has already said, hey, don't use these for any variables or any other use. They already have a purpose in Python. So talked earlier about true and false. And let's see, there we are. There's false. And all right, so then you just exit out of here. So now I'm going to show you, this is a little choppy, but new, or actually let's type in hi, and then print hi. So let's look and see what I do here. So I like to say that on your header line, you need 4 things with the option of a 5th. So now here's a keyword, def, short for definition. Then you need to name the function. So right here, we're actually creating our own function in Python that we can use later. And a function is the smallest of smallest pieces of a program. And that's one of the things that makes programming so powerful, is that it can do the same thing over and over again to help us humans where we lack. We struggle with memory, and we struggle with doing the same task over and over and over again. Guess what? Computers are perfect for both those two tasks. So you have your keyword definition, you have the name of your function, you have your parentheses, and you have your colon right here with the option of stuff in the middle. Right now we're not doing anything. So we got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So now I'm going to hit return one more time, and Python is just sitting here going, hey, do you have any more stuff? And I'm like, no. So I hit enter again. All right. So it doesn't look like anything happened. Well, a lot happened. So Python took this in. I typed everything accordingly. Python has its own rules. So now I'm going to do just like what we did up here, where we called our variables, right? So I assigned my name to the variable name. All right, then I called it and spat that out. Then I assigned 2 more variables called them each time, spat out the appropriate information, and then I called this function. So this is exactly what we're going to do. Prints things to the screen, and if it leaves empty, it leaves a blank line. So now we've created a new function, hi, and it's going to print out hi. So I'm going to call, now here, I'm going to do this wrong the first time so you can see this. Oh no, am I square? Okay, I'm pretty good. All right, so now I type hi, and it's a function, so I do open close. I want you to see. This is the other thing that I love about Python. Well, there's tons. This is one. When you screw up, Python tells you. This is where you'll learn a tremendous amount of information. It will literally tell you where. So on line 1, it goes, I don't know what you mean. You typed in hi. I have no idea what you're talking about. What? No, never even heard of, never even kind of understand, because it's not defined. Well, you said, yeah, I did. Oh, wait a second. Are H and H and are those the same? No. Python is not going to guess what you wanted to say, what you hoped to say, what you meant to say. It's only going to look in memory and see what it knows, what it has remembered. So now, I was about to do something on accident. So now if I call hi, capital H, lowercase I, open close parentheses, and hit enter, ta-da, I print out this. So now let's close this just a little bit. So I call this live, just kind of like my live stream. So I can't go up here and fix this. I can't go back and change any of this because this is live. So when I make a mistake, I have to live with it and just continue on. Now, there is a way in Python. We'll just do new, and we'll call this live, if I can spell. You'll learn if you hang around for a long time, I don't spell that well, and that's fine. I use computers to help me. So, okay. Now, this is called a script. Text editor, file, whatever you'd like to call it. But you don't have to get that fancy right now and download anything. Python works just fine. So this is a recording, just like all my other videos. So I can type all these things in here, just like I had before. So name equals name or Sam, then X equals, what was it, 4, 2, I can't remember. And then pi is 3.14. And then now, so now I'm going to show you how to do this definition over here. And I'm going to show you what happens when you do something wrong. So hi, all right. So now, this is important. In Python tracks white spaces. And so over here it was nice and indented. The print was right under the H, right? Well, what did I forget? I forgot my colon. So let's talk about this. This is called the header. And this is everything indented is the body. And I want to draw your attention down here. So your interpreter is more than likely set to 4. So each time you indent, you'll go in 4. So that helps you assign. Python reads white spaces. That's all it cares about. And one thing you want to make sure is don't mix tabs and spaces. I don't recommend using tabs when you're getting started because it can mess you up. So if you mess up, you just go backspace, backspace, then go back. That's the easiest way to do it. So now I do print hi. Or yeah, we did hi, then close this out. Oh, let's look at this. So hi, now I want to draw your attention to this. In strings, Python helps you keep track of them. So our functions are purple. Our predefined functions are purple. When we're creating a function, it's blue, our keywords are orange, and our strings are green. So that just helps us keep track. Now, why is all this green? Because I did not match up my quotation marks. So they're single and double. We're not going to spend much time on which to use. I recommend the double. When you get further along, you can start to mix and match, and there's ways to handle it. But until you get more comfortable and you really understand it, just use the double, because if you use a contraction, can't, you're going to want to put that in there. There's other ways to deal with it. So if I'm typing this and I'm going to do my closing parentheses, it should be black. And you see also what Python does is it's going to highlight and gray this out to go, okay, you closed it out. And also, if you're typing something and you're expecting it to be high is not green, so I forgot my beginning. So there we go. So now I run this, and I'm going to show you this, how to do this. So now I just pressed, I did do that fast, I apologize. So I did a cheat. My cursor's over here, and I pressed F5 on my keyboard, and it ran this all through memory, put everything over here, put it into memory, and then it kicked me over to my shell. So let me show you where I got how I know to press F5. Up here, run module, F5. Now, the F5 does not work if your cursor is over here in the shell. All right, I don't know if you can or cannot hear that. This is my first attempt at this. So, but it only works when I do this. So now I call hi, open close parentheses, I get this. Now, there's actually a way to call this inside the script. So the way that Python does this is it literally reads down in sequence, and it will read this, and if it does not throw an error, it does not have any problems with the code, it literally continues running down and then comes over here. So literally right here, I'm going to put this into memory, then I'm going to tell Python, hey, why don't you go ahead and I'm going to call this function that I just wrote up here. So now I'm going to press F5 again, and I'm going to have hi come out here for me. Boom. It is literally that simple. So, all right. Let's look right here. Okay. Hang on. There we go. All right, so hang on, just had a comment I wanted to answer. So let's go back. All right, let me see where I am on my notes. So all right, let's also now look at a very powerful function. So in programming, you're going to need a lot of information. So one of these tools is range. That is already set out there for us. Oh, look how big this thing is. All right. So range is a function, and it has a set of rules. So this is how start, stop, step. So let's look and see what it does. So range, and I'm going to pass it 10. So right now I get this. But that is a little, that doesn't tell me much. So now I'm going to tell you about a couple of different things. Now we learned about the 4 different types of variables. Now I'm going to tell you about the containers. And the first one we're going to, so whenever you're creating a project or building a program, you have certain rules that you have to apply. And the way that I like to explain it is to build a program, to write a program, to do some very complicated tasks. You have to get it down to a level that, I like to say, how would you explain it to a 5-year-old? If you can explain it to a 5-year-old, you can put it into a piece of code and then let that code run and follow the rules. Because a programming language like Python, it can add and subtract. Here's a perfect example. We haven't done this yet. So 2 plus 1, 1 plus 2, 3. All right, so now I have name here. Now let me show you this. This can be a little weird. So Sam, and then actually let's do this. Hi, I'm going to leave that space there. Hi Sam. So then I put this in a string. Hi. Print name. Hi Sam. So all right. Now let's learn about a container called a list. Lists are pretty self-explanatory. It's a container. You can put stuff in it. And purple. Now it also has function capabilities, and we'll look at it. So this one is 135 lines of code. And also, just for administrative things, we're using Python 3.8.1. So all right, iterable. That's going to be a word that you're going to hear. You have an iterator, then you have iterable. In iterable, you're able to iterate through, to move through. So now I'm going to, and it has a whole bunch of stuff just like we had with our string. These are all the methods that you can use with your object. Everything in Python is an object. Here we go. There. Your list object. So now if I were to wrap my range function around a list, or wrap a list function around my range. Now check this out. All right. So now we need to go over a couple other things. Python starts with 0. It's a zero-based index language. So when you think about a number line, in the middle is 0. That's what you need to think about. So it starts at 0 and goes to 9. Might say you typed in 10, why does it go to 9? Well, how many are here? If I count 1, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's why. So this is what's called exclusive. The stop, let's go back to range. So this can get pretty complicated. So all right. Stop, when you pass excuse me, when you pass it one number, you just go to stop and it starts at 0. Then if you give it a start and a stop, it's going to start where you say inclusively, and it's going to stop where you want to exclusively, right up and 2. All right, let me show you. Let's look at this. All right. So right now I did list range, and I just passed it. Let's pass 5. So I get 0 through 4. So now if I pass it 1 and 6, so if I press enter, what's gonna come out? Well, 1, because inclusive, it's included. 6 is exclusive, excluded, so it won't be there. So I should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, here's another awesome function. Len. What does that look like? Number of items in container. Ah, there's that word, container again, and return. So it gets created. So that can be handy for later. Because when you're creating something, it means you can assign it to something else. Print just puts something out on the screen. So let's see where we are. So if I created my new list of my first 1 through 6, close that out. So wait a minute, nothing happened, but wait a minute. Okay, so then I call len on new, I get 5. Oh, look at that. I can do that. I can do that math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them. So this is very handy, especially when you're expecting something to come through and you think that it's going to be 10 items and you're getting an error or why things aren't working, run lin on it. You'll figure out why you're getting a little bit of a mistake. So let's see. All right. Now, all right. So we need to talk about one of the other tools that Python has for us to do a task over and over and over again. They're called loops. And first we're going to learn about the first type of loop, which, let's see, key help, keywords. Is it words? It's words, yeah. EF. For. There it is. A for loop. So, what is for? For statement. Holy moly, this is a lot of stuff. This is the awesome thing about Python. Okay, here we go. What is this? So basically, the other one is a while loop, and while, there it is. Yeah, it goes up and down and up and down and over. Okay, so while until something changes. For is for a specific amount of time, and it is for the quantity in this container. So let's close this out. So this is the setup. This is your temporary variable. You can use anything. I'm going to show you two different ways so it doesn't mess you up, because I remember. All right, so for, now you can do, actually we're going to do this over here so you don't have get frustrated. So now I'm going to show you a way to comment out everything. So commenting in Python, in all computer languages, is very important. And actually, when you get sophisticated, you want to be commenting your code. So, because if you were to write a piece of code right now, leave it, you know exactly what it does, come back in a year, and you try to remember what it does, you're not going to remember what it does. So you want to make comments of what you mean, and the way that you do that is you add a £, comment. So there's two ways to do this. You can do Alt, if you're on Windows, it's Alt, whatever line you're on, Alt 3, and Python, and then Alt 4. Or, well, you can do multiple, and then also, what is it? Yeah, format, then comment out region and uncomment region, and you can do multiple regions. So sometimes you'll have times where you'll want to have layers. Oops, I went the wrong way. So uncomment. So you're going like this, and then you do one more. So you have double layers here, and then you have this, and then you can come back. So that's not abnormal. So I'm going to comment out all of this. So I don't want any of that to happen. So now I'm going to use my for loop in the same setup as our header and our body for our functions. For. Now, this is standard, and this is the way I learned it. For I in, now here's another keyword in Python, in whatever container iterable that I'm going to have over here. Iterable is something to iterate through. So let's use what we have so far. We did our new, we know how to do this. So list, range 1 through 6, close that out. So we know what this is. Same rules. For now, also it can literally be any character, placeholder, okay? So I learned with I, and then, but whatever, so if you had, you can change this to num. For every number in new. And the reason why I didn't assign this to list is because that is a function and it will throw up all over the place. But this is my new list, and I'm taking this range function and I'm converting it into a list, wrapping this range function with my list function. So now if I were to get rid of my colon and hit return, I'm now on my wall underneath my 4 on column 0. Wrong. What'd I forget? I forgot my colon. So now I'm indented. I'm in the body of my loop, and I'm on column 4. So I literally just want to print out number. So this is the important thing, and this is what hangs up some new individuals. Whatever you have this variable name, this temporary variable, this intermediary variable, you have to use the same one down here. So if I wanted to, and we'll do this time, and then we'll start doing some math to it maybe. But to remind you, this new is going to be, this is our list. So the first time through, it's going to start at the beginning of the list and work its way through each time. And it will do these instructions, and I could have a million set of instructions here. It will sit here, and Python will just say, how many do you want to have? Well, right now I just want 1. So now when I run this, what's going to happen is on each line over here, let's pull this back, we don't need that much space, I'm going to get each item out of this container, and I'm just printing it to the screen. We're not doing anything yet. So we are going to run this, and I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 come out on the screen. So now this time, so we don't have to retype this over here live, I want to then add 1 to each of this, because this is still my number. My number, because I have a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my container. And then right now I want to add 1 each time through to each of this number. So now I run this again, it's going to be offset by 1. So it should be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, correct? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's say I want to multiply each one by 2. So what is that going to be? So basically I'm going to be counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Or multiplying by 2, like a times table. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool that I can do that. Wouldn't it be neater if Python could do that for me? So now, what did we learn about? Oops, we don't need that. Let's pull this back over here. What did we learn about our start, stop, step? What does that mean? So we know we got to put this in a list. Then range. All right. So I want it to start. I want to go by 2s. So I want it to start at 2, and I want 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 to come out. So that's my step. Yeah, okay, you can see that. It's my step. So I want 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so 10. Okay. Then by 2s, and I need to close that. Let's see what happens. Wait a second. So I got 2, 4, 6, 8. Wait. That's exclusive, so I need to at least go up to 11. Now I'm going to show you this. I'm not a big fan of this, but you put your cursor here, you hit enter again, it copies it. All right, I don't like showing that, but you can. I was going to do it, and I don't want to type a lot tonight. So okay, so here we are. So then I press enter, and now I get my. It does not have to be 12 up here. Just past the number that you want. So if we wanted to go by 3s, I only literally would have to go. If I wanted 3, 6, 8, 9, 12, I would only have to have 13 and a step of 3, right? So I got 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's change this. So start 2, 11 by 2. So now I have, what's going to come out when I run this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? Because this matches this. Oh, shoot. Sorry. All right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So now, let's see. Let's see where we are. So, well, this is at about 35 minutes. I was not sure how I would do. We'll see. I've actually contemplated doing this again at around, what would that be? Central is the Greenwich Mean Time. I think it's going to be like around 1 p.m. Standard Greenwich Mean Time, and we'll pick up on this because this is about 35 minutes. I thought I'd do an hour, but I don't think we have anybody watching. So, but this was a new neat experiment. So if this is something that you would be interested in, go ahead and drop it down in the comments and let me know, because I think YouTube does have a way for me to see who's online when. But this was more like when I'm doing a seminar someplace. So I hope you guys got something out of it. Please drop a comment down below. And we have videos coming out, taking a little an extended break this time, but videos Monday through Friday, 5 videos a week, over 700 now. I want to share my love of Python and help anybody who is learning or struggling to learn, because it can be overwhelming, and this channel is designed to help you with your struggles and also try to answer any questions you may have. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget that subscribe button, and if you do like this video and are interested in more live streams, go ahead and like it and leave a comment down below, and we'll see you guys next time.